Something tells me that the Breakfast Club of Combat is about to close up shop. But it's not gonna go down without a fight with the Galactic Emperor. Hey guys, Masako X here. When we started on this journey regarding this particular what if, there were so many unknowns going into it. I was a little cautious in terms of wanting to do it, and to do it right, but with the right guidance and the experience that was accrued from this experience as we went through, I feel that this is going really well, with just the right amount of action, fairness, as well as staying true to the original source material. The only real change that has occurred when you really get down into it is that the main character is a female Saiyan instead of a male one. If Dragon Ball was written today, I would do things even more differently to make this even more apt for today's standards, but hey, we are working with Toriyama's style of writing and something from the 80s and early 90s, so we have to remain faithful to the original plot and sensibilities somewhat, but I think we got something cool. So, we are asking you lot, what if Goku was female? As we said before, not much is changing in this scenario other than Goku is a woman now. In the world of the Dragon Ball Earth and the culture of the 80s and 90s, it has meant that Goku has now been more privy to socializing and a closer friendship with Bulma in particular, simply because Goku is a girl, and was surrounded by more girl-orientated things. But that being said, she is still a Saiyan, and Saiyans aren't known for liking makeup and the like, traditionally. Goku still wanted to train, and get strong as well, as practice martial arts too, just like Grandpa Gohan had taught her. Gender identity didn't really play a role in her childhood until Bulma came along, so it's not going to fully stick as much as you think. But as a result of the added time with the heiress to Capsule Corp, Goku's social skills and understanding of the world around her and Earth life became much more developed than the original version of the character, much more. Despite this though, the revelation of her Saiyan heritage has meant that things are starting to fall apart for the friendships that she had formed, just simply for the fact that she's not from Earth, and things may never be the same, especially after Namek, if there is indeed an after to be had. In the last part, things were looking bad with the Ginyu Force bearing down on our group before Dende could make the final wish. However, something came into play that greatly took the edge off for our club. Porunga could only accept wishes in Namekian, and since nobody other than Namekians could understand the language, Dende could hoodwink the Ginyu Force into thinking that he had wished for immortality for their benefactor Frieza. But he hadn't. Instead, he had wished for the Ginyu Force to go home, and Frieza believed that they were successful. He assumed that his trustworthy band of mercs had done it. After that, Goku planned to face the Emperor alone. But he was met with resistance, as well as a poll. Now I asked you out there to decide what happens next, and with a resounding 67% of the vote, over 2/3, you elected for the club to face Frieza together one more time, possibly ever, instead of Goku going it alone, or Frieza just simply taking the easy way out and blowing up Namek just to show off his immortality powers. Also, I thought I'd got a little bit of a surprise for you, for anyone who enjoys these particular series of videos. I have now got a Breakfast Club of Combat t-shirt that has just gone live at masako.cc/store, so if you want to get it, go to masako.cc/store, and here's a 10% off discount code. Just put subs in the checkout and you get 10% off your total order. Anyway, let's get back to it. With Goku training outside alone, the gang are looking very apprehensive. Their friend was isolating herself deliberately, and she had basically told them to stay out of her way in the nicest way possible. Is this what Saiyans are actually like? Are they losing their friend for good? Well, it's best not to think about this for right now, because Frieza is honestly the bigger priority. So Krillin decides to walk up to Goku and do some high-level training. Are you sure that's wise, Krillin? Won't Frieza detect us or something? Let him come! We're ready for him! They both fist bump and begin to train, harder than ever before, harder than even on the ship. A little too hard. Both of them power up to ×20 Kaioken, and the powers are ridiculous. They are getting very into it. So into it, in fact, that Frieza's scouter does indeed pick it up, and then shatters into many pieces. What the? What was that? It can't be the Ginyu Force, they just left. What's going on? Oh, It's those Earthlings. I almost forgot about them. Well, let's try out this new immortality on them and wear them down to within an inch of their pathetic lives. It's been a long time since I got up close and personal with the common folk. Chi-Chi, Yamcha and Ten Shinhan are watching in shock at the powers which are greater than Frieza's. Both of them are. But speaking of Frieza, Ten Shinhan then senses a power coming towards them that's actually Frieza. Slowly doing so, but approaching them nonetheless. Guys, cut this out! Frieza's coming! Goku is distracted, and Krillin gets a hit with a ki blast to the chest, and it goes straight through Goku's torso, leaving the little guy horrified. Everybody is, including Dende, but he's on it. Before Goku even registers what's going on, Dende is above her and healing her. Much like what Josuke does to his mum in the first episode of Diamond is Unbreakable, that kind of thing. Krillin is quivering with horror at what he had just done. He had almost offed his potential date. Well, maybe no date after this, perhaps. Goku, I'm so sorry! Please forgive me! Goku gets up, feeling fine.
Don't worry about it, pal. I feel fine. It was my fault for getting distracted. Huh?
Goku gets up and feels more powerful than ever. She jumps at her normal rate, and she actually ends up flying thousands of feet before smashing back into the earth.
I feel stronger than ever.
Krillin starts to think why this could be, and then back to their training in the ship. Yeah, after our training sessions, Goku almost always felt stronger to go up against. Much more so than I. If we were both human, our progression should have been similar. Maybe this has something to do with your Saiyan nature. Goku looks to her hands.
I get stronger every time I get hurt?
Dende points out.
And recover. You don't get stronger probably if you pass on, though.
Goku laughs and gets up feeling invigorated.
Bring it on, Frieza.
Soon enough, the Gang of Five are ready as Frieza arrives, surprised to see these clowns ready for him. Good, good. You lot are braver than I gave you credit for. You wish to see the power of an immortal Emperor firsthand. Fear not, I'm more than happy to oblige. Goku and the gang are feeling a little more confident. He's not wearing his scouter, so maybe he might not be able to sense energy. And he thinks he's immortal. Frieza points his hand to Krillin. You! I wish to fight you first. You will be my official punching bag. Before Krillin can register, Frieza is heading towards him. Kaioken ×5! Krillin powers up and heads towards Frieza before being slammed to the ground, surprising everyone, especially Goku. What is he doing? This carries on for a brief moment before Goku figures out what Krillin's up to, and she leaps in to help him without even using Kaioken. Both of them are thrown to the ground, albeit with some difficulty. Frieza is panting, but still feeling triumphant. Goku winks to Krillin, registering that she knows what he's doing. They are pretending to be weaker than him to make him believe the ruse that he's immortal for longer and tire him out a little to make it even easier. The rest of the group don't know this, though, and are left stunned at how stupid their friends are being right now, despite all the training they were doing. And with Frieza continually stopping on them for a bit, laughing his head off, Krillin and Goku pick the moment and grab his legs and shout Kaioken ×10 in unison. They simultaneously hurl Frieza face first into the rubble above their heads before spinning round and elbowing him in further. This leaves the group equally stunned. Frieza gets up and is left dumbfounded, but it's okay. He won't succumb to these wounds. He's immortal, right? He wheels back around to counter, but is met with a barrage of punches from Krillin, sending him right back to the ground. Goku then fires an energy blast, sending Frieza into a mountain. For a second, nothing happens. It's just still. Then, the mountain explodes, and out emerges a bigger Frieza in his second form.
You dare mock me, monkey? I am your everlasting master, and I will destroy you! No matter what you try, you will never
This is when the gang all charge in at their max Kaioken and just beat Frieza down mercilessly. With their combined power, Frieza is unable to respond before being catapulted into the air and collapses seemingly motionless. Face it, Frieza! You're done! You're not even immortal! We tricked you good! Ha ha! Yamcha says with great mirth. Frieza's eyes open widely.
What? What did you say?
Goku and Krillin wheel around across to Yamcha, who is looking scared. You dummy, Yamcha!
You tricked me. You tricked me, Lord Frieza! That's it. You will all suffer!
Frieza screams to the heavens, and he skips the third form altogether that we know of, and goes straight to his final form. Sleek and agile, this Frieza is absolutely livid. His eyes are wide with fury, and veins are all over his visage.
You think you will get away with this? Well, you won't.
Frieza aims a beam at Yamcha, but Krillin leaps in at Kaioken times 20 to stop it, but he can't. He is hit through the chest and collapses to the ground. Dende tries to run over to him, but Chi-Chi stops him.
Don't! You'll get hit too! We can't afford to lose you!
Dende is tearing up, knowing that Krillin is gone. He can't sense his life at all. Frieza had struck true, and Yamcha was spared, him looking especially mortified. Goku is furious, and you know what's coming. With a scream that even best Frieza's one just now, Goku's aura turns golden, as does her hair, and she becomes a Super Saiyan. Frieza is too angry to notice this, as well as being flooded with the feeling of catharsis for what he'd just done. That little short stack had bugged him particularly. He calmly walks over to Chi-Chi and Dende, pointing his finger. "You're next, weaklings." But he doesn't get much further before being elbowed in the head by a stoic Goku. She turns to the others and tells them to take Krillin's body and get out of here. They are not going to question that. Yamcha grabs Krillin, and the rest head back to the hideout with Goku grabbing Frieza's leg without so much as a grunt. Goku's power is now around 100 million, all thanks to that accidental Zenkai. Frieza's energy is fading fast, and he is begging for mercy. Now nobody is here to witness his fear. He tells Goku that he's only at half his full power, and if Goku allows him to power up, he will give the Saiyan a challenge. That's what these monkeys like, right? Challenges? Goku says nothing though, despite being tempted. Frieza has crossed the line. Krillin passed doing a noble thing, and Frieza will not do this to anyone ever again. Goku headbutts Frieza before flinging him away. Goku then fires a full power angry Kamehameha, but Frieza spins around and launches a death ball, which ends up in a beam struggle. But Frieza hasn't got much energy left, so this won't last long. He can feel it. The fools were right. He wasn't immortal. His hubris had led him astray. Goku lets out a roar, and the beam decimates the ball, and Frieza is surrounded with blue energy, which leads to him being totally vaporized, as well as the beam carving out a massive trench miles long before heading out into space. Frieza is done. And with that, Goku falls out of Super Saiyan and to her knees.
Krillin, I'm so sorry.
Before falling unconscious. Chi-Chi senses this happen and comes back to get Goku herself, apologizing for causing all of this trouble. If she hadn't been so selfish earlier, they might have been able to do the wish and get off of Namek without Frieza even knowing that they were there, getting in the way. When the two of them return to base, Goku is still out cold and the gang are keen to leave. The Namekians will be fine. Frieza isn't here to rule them, and nobody now from the Force is alive to carry out his wishes, or so they think. The gang transport Dende back to his home village and then set course for Earth in the craft that Goku and Krillin had arrived on, it being a much bigger vessel. Kami contacts Goku telepathically to ask what just happened. Chaozu is now alive again apparently, but Goku tells Kami calmly to gather the Dragon Balls. Krillin was affected. This saddens Kami, but he promises to gather the balls with Mr. Popo's assistance. They are still active and ready, since they were never needed to use them to revive Goku, unlike in the original. Goku feels a little better about this, but looks back to Krillin with an apologetic smile. She needs to figure things out before that date that she had promised him. By the time they get back, the balls are gathered, but Kami has bad news. They can't wish Krillin back after all. The Dragon Balls had already been used on him to revive him back in the days of King Piccolo. They'd completely forgotten about that, and chose not to tell Goku there and then out of respect. But Goku doesn't take this well. This isn't respect at all. This is just lying. She goes silent, and her fist is shaking, with anger sparking yellow. But this is stopped when King Kai points out that Namek is still around, and they have Dragon Balls, yeah? They could help. Their year is much shorter than an Earth one, just about 3 or 4 months or so. Goku's fists then stop sparking, but she just simply walks away, back home, nobody daring to say a word. They don't see Goku in fact again until the balls are gathered on Namek and the wish is conducted via King Kai and Kami. When Krillin comes to, Goku gives him a hug and apologizes for what just happened. Krillin takes it well. Hey, now we're even. They both laugh, and the trials of Namek are now complete. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Do you feel that this was a good plot progression? How are they going to deal with the trials of the androids? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!